Okay, turn it up. Lights. Stage is set.
All speakers ready.
Sound recording. Camera roll. We're going live in 3, 2.
Hello everyone, my name is Ario. I'm basically passionate about product, data and research. But as a parent, I'm also looking at my children's activity. One of them is Roblox. Who has siblings here or who has kid that plays Roblox? Can you raise your hand? Okay, lots of people, huh? Okay, in Roblox, for the ones that don't know this, right? Roblox is a game where people or kids can be who they want. Be it a billionaire, be it a chef, right? Or a burglar, or even a policeman. And they could also build a house and decorate them, right? But sometimes, sequentially, usually you also have a server update. And when a server update happens, you'll be kicked out. And what happens if you're kicked out? All the elements that you built, is gone, right? All the decoration will be reset. And what do you have? You'll have a set of new rules, new maps, new items, right? For some, this is a chaotic moment. Not every child can actually embrace it. But the one actually winning is not the one crying about that. It's actually the one that directly look for what is the new item, what is the new rule, how can I build a new house, how to better play it, right? So my 2 cents is why I'm explaining about this, to you guys. Life is basically a series of server updates, right? And the player who gets kicked in the game, in this presentation, I want to develop them, share them on how to actually build their own map and the next world, perhaps, not just staying with the status quo, okay? Before I was analyzing games, I was analyzing all the gadgets that I have at home. Let me share about my personal life. My father usually updates me with a patch called spinach and bitter melon. Who hates bitter melon and spinach? Raise your hand. I used to hate it. But then, when I try it longer and longer, I become fond of it, actually. It's not that. It's the mind, right? Accepting it later on. But you need to get to use it. You need to get used to it at the beginning. One thing, a patch or a system update that my father do is, don't say no until you've tried it. This is a mantra for me, right? But it's also, for me, it's actually the first lesson of decoding shift. I find challenge is usually a signal for me to move forward, actually. It's not a stop sign. It might lead to something better for me. I think you can get this on the internet easily. But what I'm telling is, right, if you have a comfort zone, okay, that's fine for you. But if you go outside your comfort zone, you learn something new, you will feel stress and discomfort. just like the previous presenter told you, right? And this is fine. This is actually the chance to grow. That's a sign of growth. Be it in your career, be it in your academic, right? Or in your life, basically. And as you grow, right, you become used to this circle, the red circle here, right? What happens? That's your new comfort zone, actually. And this is where you widen your learnings. So, in this chance, I'm going to share a few tips that works for me, right, that I always use. Before I don't judge anything from the beginning. I will try to look and read. I call it the ROLIB. ROLIB is read, observe, listen and ask, and explore, and then be curious about it. Why? These are inputs for you, then to make a clear judgment about the things that comes to you, right? I like the saying here, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open, and I believe that up until now. I used to live in the States for 4 years. We're not the richest people. We're not poor, but we're not rich. So for toys, we scavenge the garage sale, right? For some people, this might be junk or useless. Yeah, there's no value in them. But for me, it's something that limits. I know my limitation that I can buy those things. So, but I try to find a value in those things. And basically, okay, I couldn't have the newest Hot Wheel. But of course, with the old Lego, used Lego, I can build my own car, actually. So, the first crash course in seeking opportunities is in challenge, is what I feel is limitation. Don't block my path to have something I want. Maybe it's a different version of a car. It's not a Hot Wheel, but it could be a Lego car, okay? And then the limitation basically defines who I am as well. It basically helped my creativity. We also did some problem solving by not having everything at home. So I use my old stereo. I use a steering that I found in the garage sale, and I use my father's joystick. Again, being curious and exploring is the first thing. It's the first step, I think, right? To live in this life better. You'll meet issues, yeah, but then you have to embrace and find a way out of it. Sharing a bit about my journey. It's not a perfect line, yeah. It's from biology to electric vehicle. That's quite far, right? That's not something conventional. If I'm a biology, it should be a lecturer or a director in Ekman Institute, for instance, right? That might be a straight path, right? But no. I started studying nudibranch, corals, and sponges, actually, in the early days. But then I realized in life, we also need money. So I tried to find a thing that still uses my knowledge, right? Along the line, basically, it's all using data. So I start thinking, I think data is important for me, right? Knowing about how to wrangle data, right? So I tried to find a research agency, yeah? So trying to find my use in the commercial side. So I went to the research agency called Ipsos. I learned about lots of things, right? From automotive, you see, chocolates, milks, and oil. And online streaming as well. And it moved me again to the corporate R&D function, which is the client side, in the fast-moving consumer goods, FMCG, where basically I get data from, as you see here, products like shaves, shampoos, Pampers, right? And even cosmetics, SK2, right? I'm not telling you about that, but basically, regardless, yeah, even in apps, on the latest one, I went to Gojek, where I studied about apps and the users actually, which is our driver partners. And then I met Grid, which is the EV infrastructure. I built my own company. So basically, what I found is you are what you eat. There's a saying by a famous German philosopher, Feuerbach, you are what you eat. What does it mean? In biology, yeah, it's literal. Your cells, yeah, is basically derived from your nutrition, basically, right? But what I felt is it applies to every line of my career, right? Where actually, during those times, yeah, I found variety of shifts and inputs. What are the inputs? During the academic, right, I saw the biology advancement. I saw people having technology more for genetics, right? At that time, stem cells were really new, right? So I wanted to go that way. That might be the future for me, right? And then, as it goes along, I found data is also important for the commercial side, right? Oh, I can make money out of this, out of my knowledge, basically. Basically, people were moving from having business with guts when they want to do a strategy, only with guts, based on their experience. But no, now it's more to data-driven strategy. And then, when I search, perhaps, right, when search for other companies, I found P&G's product innovation was really nice and advanced compared to the others. I went to the lab in Sharon Woods, right? As a training, I found out that even the cap of a shampoo, right, is tested. How long the durability is, how many open-end shuts, 3,000 open-end shuts by robotic arm. So it's that crazy, right, for product innovation. And then also, they're following actually the consumer behavior, what the consumer wants. We call it consumer centricity, right? So we know about you better before you want it, okay? And then we move, yeah, to the era of application development, where every company has their own apps, basically. And then I found that, okay, before everything goes up, I was then called by the tech startup, right? And suddenly there's a gig economy happening in Indonesia, okay? Now we're moving to the sustainable part, sustainable era where everyone is also concerned about the environment, right? And now there's a new thing in town, right? The rise of AI. And I'm giving you out that after the rise of AI, yeah, my thought is the shifts that we're having is going to be quicker. Why? Everyone's knowledge is accelerated. Every one of you can make your own app right now. Very easy. Okay? And every week, there's a new AI coming in town. Okay? So based on this, my move toward the company is not, it's an organic way of responding of those shifts, actually, of the inputs that I have. So I'm going to share a bit. This is a busy slide, but focus on this right side here. What I think is a matter for me, yeah, is this part, pastel. As long as you guys, yeah, worry about the changes in political, changes in economic, meaning the inflation rate, the interest rates, the economic growth, right? The social, what are changing in the social part? Is there any technological advancement at the current? Be updated on those things, right? You basically hold in your hand the main drivers of the shift, right? But there's also two more, the environmental and the legal. This is the limitation, yeah, of a technology. You might have a good product, a good app, yeah, but if you don't have a knowledge about the legal part or the regulation, it's limited by that. Okay? Sharing you about the great accelerator, the COVID. This is one of the great shifts, right? Proximity living. At that time, roads are closed, right? Basically, everyone was shrunk from global to neighborhoods, right? And for the online, it grows from your couch to the world, right? That's why when we see the data, they basically didn't create a new shift. People were going to the online, but it's just faster. Here it's twice. The transaction of e-commerce is twice at that time. And also the social media growth at that time, right? Affecting our ways on communicating and socializing, basically. Again, this is an era of flux, where the one thing is constant is the instability of or the shifts, the market shift. Again, the challenge is when the change happen or not. No, it's how quickly they will be happening. Again, in a normal world, the big players will be the one that is winning, right? They have the scale for a product. But no, in the shifting world, right, you guys might have a chance to play along. Because if you're adaptable players and knowing when a shift's coming, you have increasing the speed of adaptation, right? One thing I want to share about signal and noise, because we have data abundance, the challenge of data abundance. What happens? This much data, but which one is actually important for us? Yeah, you need to know how to filter it. The things that is the sign or the feature is, for noise, it's usually temporal. I'll just give you directly about Brompton bikes. Who has a Brompton bikes here? Who owns one? Basically, the noise is, it's about Sultan status, about having this. Rarity of a certain color of the bike, and the branding and the price tag, which is 80 million rupiahs. But the signal is actually, people are moving away from car-only dependency, right? They can integrate that to public transportation. The second thing is, people are becoming more health conscious. That's the signal. The underlying things, right, that you don't see in front of your face. The social sport activity, yeah, interaction with the community, pertemanan sehat, okay, and networking space. The recent one is paddle boom, where the noise is a sudden surge of paddle places and paddle influencers, right? The use of expensive rackets, outfits, the social flex and playing in Canggu Beach. But the signal is actually a property and capital reallocation, right? The urban land that is not used, yeah, underused, they monetize it, get money out of it. It's also an active socializing. We used to do it in cafes, right? Now it could be gyms, it could be paddle or Pilates. And it creates also a booking system. So what do we do with the signals? We do a horizon scanning. What will be the problem of paddle, for instance? If there's a crowd of paddle, what will work for paddle? Right? By scanning, and you can use actually the method of what if. What if the paddle is not enough anymore for Indonesian people? Second thing is about listening. Listening towards the people itself. Human centricity or customer centricity, right? When the data tells us what's happening, but it doesn't tell us about why. So you need to observe, connect to them, even your families or members, might be the closest proxy that you could have, actually. I'm sharing the simple detect, decipher, deploy, where we scan first, analyze, and then directly to the action. So study case is electric vehicle chargers. We found that people, if you want to go to the Surabaya, you'll have to download basically 10 apps actually for chargers because there are a lot of brands, right, in the road. And you need to top up in every one of them if you found out a different one, right? And also an app is a burden for you guys, basically. You keep on downloading more, right? Why not creating the deciphering thing is, why not create a unifying platform for all of them, right? Do we really need apps? Everybody is already into e-money. Who use e-money? Raise your hand. Right? So the deployment is, the action is, build a unifying platform or aggregator, like Traveloka for hotels, but for chargers, and build a cashless payment device. So again, we're not Dr. Strange, everyone, right? Who can know about the scanners in life, but we can always anticipate with data. Again, the secret of change, how to quickly adapt is not fighting on the old, I think. Let's build on the new. Now it's your turn to find the problems. Keep your servers updated. Thank you so much.